Welcome back, dear viewers, to season's broadcast of SRAs. Another season. So far, we're gonna, open the books to another fresh page and start a new story. That story begins, of course, with the first race of the calendar, Indianapolis.
Looks like he lines up a move. Oh, this is good tight racing right here.
Inside or outside, what's gonna happen?
As turn 7 into the grass, heavy booping the snoot on the barrier.
Oh, side by side into
Wow.
the chicane.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
And we're off and away for SRA.
Hello, SRA Nation. We are back for another round. We are at Laguna Seca, and my stream is actually working for once. So, we'll take that. Anywho, my name is Trey Morgan. I am joined in the booth by Kyle Boys. Kyle, how are you doing today?
I am doing very well, man. Thanks. Glad to be here.
Yeah, I know that you were being, I don't know if attacked by your cat is the correct determination, but having a little bit of fun there. But I know you've not been here for the last couple of rounds, but it's been a lot of fun up here, and we're gonna go ahead and get straight into it. The last two races, we've been traveling across the world. We started out in Japan at Suzuka with a very fun race, very chaotic. Then we went to race 2 at Spa in Belgium, another very chaotic race at night where we had a lot of fun. And now we are to the United States for a very, very hot race in the middle of the day. We are at Laguna Seca. And Laguna Seca is a lot of fun. Laguna Seca is, of course, the big corner that everyone knows is turn 8, the corkscrew. In my opinion, it's definitely the most famous American corner, like a track, or corner on an American track. But, it's one of the hardest corners to get right, just because you just go over and you can't see anything. Even when we go on board here with our drivers, it's not going to look as impressive as it is in real life. But it's a whole lot of fun. We have the first heavy braking zone at turn 2, Andretti's hairpin. Turn 3 and 4, not really good overtaking zones, but we can see side by side through there if they don't get, sorted out through turn 2. Turn 5 is a light braking zone to start the climb up the hill. Turn 6 is a very slight braking zone. That's where we're going to see, I think, the most issues here today with drivers going off the track. And then we go up all the way to the end of the hill for the corkscrew to go all the way back down. It's a very short left-hander into a very much almost vertical downhill right-hander where you have to aim for the trees on the opposite side of the track in order to know where you're going. After that, we got turn 9, turn 10, turn 11. Turn 11 is going to be the best, or one of the best opportunities for overtaking if you're able to follow the car behind through turns 9 and 10, a very heavy braking zone. And if you can't get past in 11, you'll be side by side all the way down to turn 2 to restart the lap. Kyle, I know that you had said that you raced here a lot just for fun when you were beginning your ACC career and all that good stuff. So is there any part of the track that you specifically like or don't like?
Specifically, that corkscrew is just like the most fun thing. I call it the roller coaster before I knew what anybody else called it. But the rest of the track is, pretty uneventful. Outside of turn 11 is like you can make or break your entire lap on that turn, or at least me personally. Yeah. I have a hard time being consistent in that turn.
Yeah, turn 11's weird, especially in certain cars. I know that the BMW, which I don't think we have any of here in D3, but in the BMW, you lose about 10 to 15 meters of braking area, of braking power, if you don't start braking, or if you start braking on the curb. So the optimal line for most cars that I know of is to brake off the curb, maybe just tap it as you're getting to the corner to turn in so you can widen it out. But it's going to be really interesting to see how our drivers take this track. It's only about a minute 20, minute 25 lap here, as opposed to the last two tracks where they've been 2 minutes. And the track here is also a lot more narrow than our last two tracks. So as much as I don't want to say that we're going to have more chaos, it is very likely that we have more chaos. So that's what I'll have to say about that. Looking to our driver standings. Now, we have 2 race winners here up at the top between Jeremy Yarn and Chandler James. However, I'm going to look at this without the drop points because most of our drivers either don't have many drop points or they like almost have a race win in their drop points. So looking at our drivers, including both of week 1 and week 2 results, Chandler James is in first place, followed by Raf Cab and Tyler Thompson for P2 and P3. And you'll see that those 2 drivers are a lot farther down in the overall standings. Artie Thompson, Mark Kazuba, Peter Jacob, and Brad Bertram all doing very well there. Peter Jacob and Brad Bertram, I kind of don't think they'll stay silver, but for right now, they are our silver leaders, as well as Kasra Arabi, who I believe was only around for 1 race, but I could be wrong. I will quickly go check the silver standings. No, he was around for both races. He just has 4 drop points instead of almost 80 that some of the other drivers have. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. Kyle, is there anyone that you think might have a good shot here today? Looking at our drivers on the hot lap leaderboard.
I gotta say, I don't think I recognize enough people either from commentating last season or from racing that I would know what to say. I think I'm rooting for Chris Reaper here mostly because I hang out with Jetter a lot and he's his homie. So
makes sense.
Outside of some bias hope for Reaper, I hope everyone has a great race and nobody crashes. That's about all I can say about it.
That would be the preference, yeah. So our current leader in both the hot lap leaderboard and the hot stint leaderboard is Mark Kuzuba, who happens to be helping his team lead in the team championship there at P1, but with him and Aiden Springer in MCAS Nasty in the 270 Evo or 720 Evo, which I think is going to be the best car around this track. I know that in my hot lapping of this track, that's been the car that's been the most consistent for me. But the Yarn brothers currently sitting in P2 overall in the Midgar Motorsports OBDA, doing very well so far. Unfortunate results for them last week, but it's nothing to sneeze at. And then P3 Washed Up Racing, not very washed up. 2 silver drivers sitting at P3 in the team standings. Although, like I said, I don't think some of our team drivers or our silver drivers will stay there for long. But yeah, so a lot of good drivers. I'm looking back toward the hot stint leaderboard as we wait for our drivers to get ready to go out. If I can find him. Here he is. Okay. So I will go ahead and switch the race, or just to see our drivers. Sam Stott, who is currently in the middle of another driver, Steven Sarver, is our second fastest overall in the hot stint leaderboard, 4th overall in the hot lap leaderboard. So I think he has a really good shot here today. One thing of note is that for this track, there's not many places where you have to worry about track limits where you don't also have to worry about just kind of dying, I guess is the best way to put it, because this is very much like a British track where if you go off track a little bit, you will go off track a lot. And I will show one of those places here while we're waiting if I can get my camera to work properly. So we're going to go down here through turn 1 down into turn 2. And as you can see here, maybe the exit of the pit lane goes right into turn 2, or yeah, into turn 2. So if you go deep into turn 2, not only are you going to have a hell of a time trying to get back into the pit exit lane, you also, if you go deep enough, might hit someone going through that lane. So hopefully we don't see that, but it wouldn't shock me. But we have our silver drivers getting in a line. Steven Sarver up at the front. And yeah, it should be good. But yeah. So we're going to go ahead and just give a little bit of a look around at our different drivers. So Mike.
Okay.
Where's Mike Farrow? I wanted to show him off because I wanted to see if he got his team name working. If I can find him, there he is. His team name here is S18 NOLA, which I believe is his team name for the, or I believe that's to go off of his livery, so, because, again, he is the Saints. It's kind of hard to see, unfortunately, in the pit lane, but there we go. Yeah, we're going to follow Steven Sarver, though, as he goes through his outlap. Sorry, I keep interrupting you as you're about to start speaking. Go ahead and go.
No, I mean, no, you're fine. You're already talking. So, I was just saying the flare de lis. When you said the Saints, I wasn't sure if it was about the team or just the emblem. I know some people get kind of sideways about it.
Yeah, I think that's technically it's the team name that you have listed on your livery, if I remember correctly. So I count it as the team name on the bottom right of your screen. But right now, Steven Sarver starting his lap all the way down here into turn two, a hairpin, but it's not, it doesn't look like a hairpin sometimes because you have to double apex it. Sarver going a little bit maybe cautious through turn 3, but not going to fault him for that, as it is a hot track right now. Now, it is optimum, but the track is 40 degrees Celsius, which, if my math is right, is it's close to, if not over, 100 degrees Fahrenheit, but I could be wrong on that.
I would say, yeah. I was just pulling up my calculator. I don't think it matters that much, but yeah, I would say so. And your tires should be to temp like very quickly.
Almost too
especially
quickly.
if they're doing any kind of like riding their brakes on an outlap or any of that. So
yes.
Almost too quickly. Yes. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, this, especially with how hot it is. I know that in my testing, sometimes if you drive too fast on your out lap or on your first couple laps, your tires will be so hot that you can't actually do a good lap on your last lap. Anywho, Steven Sarver coming across the line now to set our first lap, which is a 124.917. Not too shabby. Darren Robichaux with a 125.4. Cliff Hemian. Is it Cliff or Chris? I think it was Cliff Hemian.
Chris.
Cliff Hemian. There we go. Was a provisional P4. Koval, now a provisional P1, and he's already improving.
Yeah, looks like everybody's improving.
Yeah. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I can go ahead and add in your view. So let's see if this is working. There we go. We have picture-in-picture now. It looks a little weird, but we'll live with it. I think it's because you're not in full screen, but there we go. Anywho, sorry. While we were away, Christian Dirksen setting a fast time of a 123.7. So very nice job there. Christian Dirksen has been fast the last couple races, but not able to get as good of results. He's our fastest driver, and he's currently improving by about 0.4. Now we're going up to the corkscrew, and there you can see that vertical drop. ACC physics don't really work well with it, unfortunately, so it's not quite the best, but he is still improving. Now coming up to that turn 11 where you were talking about having those issues with inconsistency, but he holds onto it well. He's not going to improve through that final corner. In fact, he loses so much time. I don't know if he's going to improve on this lap. Okay, he will by just a little bit, but not by much. Biggest improver right now is Paulo Reis. Coming through the final corner there to improve by about 1.4 seconds. Should be up to provisional P3 or P4. Provisional P4 with a 124.3, so very nice job there. already improving by just a little bit, but we'll come back to him later. Steven Sarver currently improving by about 7/10. Now, one of the fun, well, I say fun parts about this track, it's not really compared to the last two. If you see there on the left-hand side of the track map there on your top right, you'll see how many cars there are bunched up as Steven Sarver goes provisional P2, about a 10th and a half back from Christian Dirksen. This track, with it being so short, especially comparatively, means that there's a lot of drivers who aren't going to get all of their laps to be clean laps, or even maybe most of their laps to be clean laps. Just because this track, there's a lot of places where you can have issues, and there's a whole bunch of cars bunched up. You can see how the top half of the track is very wide open, and then there's a whole bunch of guys going through the middle of Sector 1 that are all right bunched up with each other. Yaroslav Koval is one of those at the back of the pack. You can see how close he is to the guy ahead. He's only about a second away from the guy ahead of him, and that means that he's going to be, you know, just a little bit, maybe not preoccupied with the guy in front of him, but maybe blocked by the guy up in front of him. And he's not allowed to pass in qualifying. That's one of our big rules, is no passing. As there's a yellow flag for Hopkins. I'm going to quickly replay this here and see what happened. Ooh. Not sure why he's backing out of it, but he did back out. We are getting somewhat close to the end of our race, or end of our silver qualifying, but not there yet. As Peter Jacob goes deep. Oh, keep it out of the wall, no.
It was just a little bump.
Yeah, it shouldn't be the worst. There's also a yellow flag for Chris Mack, and that is a little bit of a bigger moment. So this is coming through turn 6, I believe, and you can see him hit that inside curb. Yeah, and that's not fun. Hopefully he's able to get it back going and just get another lap in. And he is, all right.
Just waiting for a gap.
Yep.
Which is good.
Very fair. Looking up front here, Christian Dirksen is done. I don't know if he didn't have enough fuel or what, but he sets his fastest lap overall is a 123.175 with the fastest sector 3. Steven Sarver also done, setting provisional P2 with a 23.460 with the fastest sector 2, sorry. And Chris Reaper, who is also apparently done, sitting provisional P3 with the fastest sector 1. So there we have that. Now it's up to our other drivers to see if they're able to get in another lap, another fast lap at that. Right now, our biggest improver, Neil Leader, going up to provisional P7 from provisional P14, and he has enough time for 1, maybe 2 more laps. We'll have to see. As he gets jumped by Darren Robichaux, provisional P4. Who are you watching there in the pip?
Lindo, and he was, when I clicked on him, he was up, well, there we go, he's back up about a 10th or 2, right up until that corner.
Yeah, so he's sitting now provisional P4, overtaking Robichaux. It's going to be interesting to see if he's able to get that P1 spot away from Dirksen. He has about a half second he'd have to gain if he wants to get there. Yeah, coming up the hill now into the fun left-hander. I'm sure there's a name for it, but I don't know what it is. But right now he's going through the Rahal straight up to the hairpin, and now he's going to make the dive into the corkscrew. Keeping it fairly clean through there. He's not improving. And unfortunately, I don't think he'll have time for another lap either, but it will be close.
He was up a half a second, too. It's crazy how fast it seems like more so on this track.
Robbie.
You can lose just a half a second in a blink of an eye.
Yeah. Robbie going through the left-hander here, turn 6, I believe, and just losing it there. So, yeah, that's one of the places where I was talking about where it's really easy to lose your place. You lose your pace, sorry. Sergio Lindo's done with his lap, did not improve. Andrew Dwang-Bonglio improved by a good bit up to P6. Very nice job there. Is Asterisk finishing his lap to jump up to P16. However, our last driver improving, sorry, there's two improving, Brad Bertram and Brad Garman. Brad Garman will come across the lines first, so we will go ahead and watch him. Coming through the last set of corners, he is slightly improving. Can he hold it? Misses the apex there for the second to last corner, but it all comes down to this. Very nice job hitting his apex. He's going to improve by a good bit.
Pick up a half second.
Yeah, half second all the way up to P15. Very nice job there. And Brad Bertram, unfortunately, was not able to improve on his lap, so he is done. That is our silver qualifying. Our gold drivers are going out, but first we're going to look at our current pole sitter, Christian Dirksen, followed by Steven Sarver and Chris Reaper. So very nice job there for our silver drivers. But now, on to gold. Our current P2 sitter in the championship is leading the field out onto the grid. Actually, yeah, P2 sitter right now overall, but P1 if you include all the points so far. So we are going to go on board with him, just for a little bit of fun, so you guys can get a good view of how this track feels when you're going through it. So out of last corner, we are on board with Chandler James, car 967, coming up, making a crest, going down through turn 1, hard braking into turn 2, and I believe that's 300 feet. Misses the second apex there of turn 2, but doing all right so far. Light tap the brake there for turn 3 into the right-hander, hard on the throttle. You're gonna floor it all the way to the 1 board. Light braking again, onto another straight. Unfortunately, he's gone. Wow, oh my word, that's very wide. That is Chris James into the wall for some heavy damage. Unfortunately, he is RTG'd, so we'll not be able to finish that lap. We will come back to him.
That was your fault for watching him.
Probably, but oh well. We're going to go on board with Martin Kazuba now instead. As he comes through the left-hander all the way up into the corkscrew, we're going to see it now from the inside view just to see how fun it is. So you go left and then you can't see anything. You just have to aim for the trees and hope it all works out. Thankfully, it works out there. Now for the left-hander of turn 9, the right-hander of turn 10. Just a little tap the apex there, very nice job, and then into the final corner. Unfortunately, no, brakes very nicely. Very nice job there through the final corner, and this is going to be our first gold driver to set a lap all the way to provisional P1 immediately. So very nice job there with the fastest sector 3 out of anyone, a 122.997. So very nice job there. There is a yellow flag for Ian Demler that I'm going to quickly replay. Ooh, so he spun out of turn 6. But he got going again. It looks like he stayed out of the wall, so no big issues there. Mike Farrow came across the line for provisional P15, Rafcab provisional P16. And a lot of our drivers are improving.
Yep. I was just watching Yaren's about almost half second up there.
But yeah, so lots of drivers who can make up lots of positions here. There's a yellow flag for Kazuba. What happened here? He messed it up through the corkscrew. This is our first death.
Oof. That looked fun though.
Yeah, that's the best kind of death. You stay mostly out of the wall. I've seen much worse deaths there. Most of them, unfortunately, are from other people crashing into you, or you crashing into other people. Not you specifically, but the driver either crashing into or being crashed into.
Especially when there's such lack of visibility there. You don't know what the guy in front of you has done. You just kind of have to pray he got out of the way, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Sam Stott up to provisional P3, about a quarter second back from Mark Kazuba's time. Most of that time lost seems to be in sector 3, so we'll have to see where he can find improvement to try and get up there. Jeremy Yarin, our current P1 sitter in the championship, currently sitting down here in P10. It's going to come across the line after going through the final corner, improving just a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and try and get a full lap with Jeremy Yarin this time instead.
Handsome just improved by a second and 2/10 and by about almost 10 spots.
Very nice. Jeremy's brother Jason improved up to P4. Jeremy up to P7. But we're going to see if we can finish out the lap. So again, we're going to try this again. Through P3, or turn 3. Missed the apex, but that's fine. Light tap the brakes. Very nice job. Is that Kazuba again there? Who was that yellow flag? No, that was John Ansem, I believe. Jeremy turning a little bit early there for turn 5, but it looks like he'll be fine. Now up to turn 6, the fast left-hander. You're going to have a light tap on the brakes now. And you can hear that sliding. That's supposed to happen, sort of. You get more grip by doing that, but I don't know if we're going to see that much in the race. Hard braking now into corkscrew. It'll be really fun seeing our drivers try to follow each other through the corkscrew or even up to the corkscrew. Jeremy Yarin doing a good job to just tap the outside curb there of turn 9. Missed the apex of turn 10. He's unfortunately not going to improve on this lap, especially with how close he is to... I'm not sure who that is up ahead of him, but he's going to come across the line. He's not going to improve. I honestly think he needs to back off a little bit just to see what he can do. Juicy Jake has a yellow flag, and oh no, he's hit the wall. I believe this is out of turn 2. Well, let's see. So coming out of turn 2, massively overcooks it, tries to save it, but goes into the tire barrier, unfortunately. So he's RTG'd. He's going to have to try and go for it again. There's also a yellow flag for Pharaoh. We're going to go and watch and see what happened to him. Ooh. So that's the other kind of death that can happen through the corkscrew, is you almost catch it, but you don't catch it enough, and unfortunately he's hit the outside barrier there. Now, in the race, I think he'd be semi-okay with that, but not in qualifying, so he's going to try and come out and do another lap.
I've been hearing about the struggle on this track for the Porsche from everybody this week.
Yeah, last time we raced here was back when Multi-Class Mayhem, our racing series that we do right now on Thursdays for LMU, if anyone would like to join that. But back when we raced here last time, MCM was a GT2, GT3, GT4. Like, basically, you could drive any car in that race, and it was a lot of fun. But the problem was that it was 50 degrees on track, and the Porsche, the way you have to drive it, your rear tires are always overheating, even on a cold track. I believe that by the end of the race, I could be wrong, but Selena Boonster, who's now a D1 driver, had her rear tires somewhere around 110 degrees Celsius by the end of the race. And that was only like a 45-minute race. So our drivers today are going to be absolutely screaming their rear ends off by the end of this race. Meanwhile, we're watching Sam Stott. He's up by 3/10 coming through the last corner. He's going to have another lap to go, but it won't matter for right now as he goes to provisional P1 by 0.3 of a second. Mark Kazuba, though, right behind him, essentially chasing him to try and get that pole position back. So we'll have to see. And Sam Stott is all purple. A purple Sector 1, Sector 2, and Sector 3. So Kazuba's really going to have to try and find that pace if he wants to get that provisional P1 back.
Draper improved by a half a second up to sixth place.
Very nice job there by Don Draper. Also, I would like to point out Sam Stott's time of a 22.6. If I go to the D3 or the D2 leaderboard, that would put him 7th place-ish. So Sam Stott, otherworldly this race right now. Someone else just improved. Jason Yarin improves up to P6. I'm a little, almost getting rear-ended there by the car behind him. I believe that was R.D. Thompson. Yes, R.D. Thompson going deep into turn 2, not able to improve his time, but he is up to P4. There's a yellow flag for Cesare Penkovic, who is off the end in turn 4. Unfortunate for him. Our gold qualifying is now done. Our drivers have to finish the lap that they're on, and then they're done. Unfortunately, John Ansem, I believe he finished his last lap. He is now in the pits. Chandler James looking to improve after that first corner, or that first lap terror. He's doing well so far, and he is our last driver with a shot at pole. Sam Stott and Mark Kazuba both came across the line. Mark Kazuba did improve, but only by about a tenth and a half, so he is still 1.14 seconds away from Sam Stott. Chandler James, though, on an absolute flyer of a lap right now. It's all a matter of now if he can hold it through the final corner. Up 4 tenths, good braking. He's not going to improve out of the final corner, but he will improve overall in the lap just enough to take P2. So very nice job there, very nice recovery after that lap 1 chaos. But Sam Stott is your pole sitter, followed by Chandler James and Mark Kazuba. We have a lot of good driving here out front. But yeah, anyway, we will go ahead and do our grid walk shortly, but first we're going to get a word from our sponsors.
A huge thank you to our SRA sponsors and title sponsors for supporting us here at SRA, as well as support from Documise, a modern business solution for product management. Go to documise.com to learn more today. And support from Retro Saga, a North American-based gaming company that provides accessories for your favourite classic systems, including Nintendo, Sega, PlayStation, and much more. Enhance your retro gaming experience today at retrosaga.ca. And a big thank you to our affiliates, Track Racer. Experience redefined gaming with Track Racer's high-quality sim rigs and accessories. Use code SRATE at checkout to support us. Armamentario, a toolbox for ACC that will enhance your chance to win. Enjoy a fully customizable and enhanced HUD to change the way you experience ACC. AT3D Sim Shop. Upgrade your sim racing experience today with premium 3D printed accessories featuring precision crafted magnetic shifters, sleek cable management solutions, versatile stream deck mounts, and immersive dashboard displays. Their innovative designs enhance performance and style, elevate every lap with top-tier quality and craftsmanship at at3d.net. Go Setups, premium esports setups for everybody. Use our affiliate link on our Discord and take your drive to the next level. Castle and Cauldron, a home-based crafting business specializing in handmade Harry Potter, Fantastic Beasts and Fairy World collectibles. Magic wands, potions, mini dioramas, wall decor, costumery, cosplay, and much more. Castle and Cauldron is where crafting meets the magical. Visit facebook.com/Castle Cauldron. And from KP Concepts, your source for custom automotive renderings, graphic design, and printing. We spend countless hours making you look all good for the spectacle. Check out kpconcepts.com for more.
One last sponsor, we have Echoes of Nox. Explore an abandoned space station as you uncover the secrets of why you were left behind. Fight with 3 AI factions and reclaim the station. Wishlist Echoes of Nox on Steam today. Right now we have our drivers pulling off the grid, and we're going to go ahead and do our driver's walk. So, P1, Sam Stott did a very nice job there to get purple sectors in every single sector. But yeah, so P2, Chandler James, currently P2 in the championship. He's going to look to try and get past Sam Stott here on the jump at the start, but it's going to be really hard to do that from the outside. Mark Kazuba, our current P1 sitter, I believe, in the championship, also looking to try and get around Sam Stott and Chandler James, but not very likely, unfortunately, due to the track layout. R.D. Thompson, P4 in the drivers. He's going to round out our second row. Christian Dirksen, our P1 sitter in silver, is going to be a challenge. It's going to be interesting to see how the Yarn brothers do behind him, specifically Jason Yarn, who's starting up alongside him. And then we have Juicy Jake, who's a really good... Him and RD Thompson, I think, have the best chance to get overtakes done on the start just due to their inherent low-end acceleration, and that's going to be really good here at this track. Don Draper, P8, Steven Sarver, P9, Jeremy Yarn, P10, who is currently, I believe... I need to look at the standings again. Yeah, Jeremy Yarn is our leader. Sorry, Mark Kazua is in 4th. RD Thompson is in 3rd right now in the standings. Anyway, we got to be fast with this. Chris Reaper, P11. John Anson, P12. Ian Demler, P13. Sergio Lindo, P14. Joey Van Winkle, P15. Andrew Guangmunglia, P16. Darren Robichaux, 17. Then Matt Mattisey, Mike Farrow, Cesare Pankovic, Rafcab, Kasra Arabi, Thomas Greer, Bruce Hawkins, Neil Leader, Cliff Hemian, Yaroslav Koval, Paulo Rees. Yaroslav is in the pits. That's not good. Sasha Dickhouse, Brad Bertram, Ben Borrell, Brad Garman. I'm going to go Helicam. Chris Mack, Isasteric, Peter Jacob, Stephen Music, Dario Fair, and Raul Heron, who is also in the pits. So we have 2 people in the pits, which is unfortunate. I apologize for not being able to look at drivers longer. This is a 1.5-minute lap at best for us. But, anywho.
Is it possible they have pit starts?
I don't think so, because I know that at least one of the drivers qualified really well, so it's possible they just forgot to hit drive. But Kyle, last chance. Anything you expect from this race?
I expect there to be less incidents than D1.
I hope so. Anyway, can you cover like P10 there in the pip there for us, please? As we go green, Mark Kazuba gets an amazing jump because Chandler James did not. Chandler James jumped by at least one driver who's going to try and fight it back into turn 1, not able to. So yeah, Mark Kazuba gets around Chandler James. Sam Stott still P1. We're looking mostly tidy right now through turn 2, which is the big danger zone, or it's the first big danger zone. Yeah, so Raul Heron and Yaroslav Koval both started out in the pits. Sam Stott getting a good jump to stay out P1. Mark Kazuba, again, getting past Chandler James from P3. So it's going to be a fight to see if he can stay there as Chandler James goes a little bit wide. We are still all single file. We have a lot of side-by-side action here in the back, though. These 2 drivers here, Rafcab and Andrew Wong-Bunglio. No, sorry. Rafcab and Van Winkle try to go side by side. No, Rafcab gets turned through the corner and gets hit by another Porsche. I'm not sure who that is. Thankfully, not much collection is happening through there, though. We are still fairly good with the exception of Rafcab through the turn. We are side by side through the corkscrew. There was a driver there, I'm not sure who that was maybe going sideways. Unfortunately, Thomas Greer is stopped on the inside of turn 9. He's thankfully able to get it out of the way. No one being collected by him. RD Thompson has gotten past Christian Dirksen. They were both fighting, I believe, into turn 11. Now it's up to Dirksen to see if he can try and fight it back into turn 1. No, he's going to think better of it. RD Thompson going a little bit deep, though. Also, Christian Dirksen may be having ping issues. I'm not entirely sure. But a mostly clean lap overall. Cesare Pinkovic and Mike Farrow. No, Farrow. No, Farrow. It seems like he's going mostly straight, but unfortunately he got hit off by Cesare Pinkovic there into turn 2. Lost about 6 or so positions. Maybe a little bit more, not sure, but he's going straight now. There's also another yellow flag for Bruce Hopkins. If I can click on him, there we go. I will quickly replay this here. I think this is on his own, but I could be wrong. Yeah, so he gets loose going into the corner, loses it. Very nice avoidance
man,
there.
That was close.
Wow. Very nice job there of avoiding drivers ahead. Especially at this track where there's not really many places you can go. And wouldn't you believe it, we're almost here ready to start lap 3. We're not even 3 minutes into the race. But yeah, so going through our order for the moment, Sam Stott, Mark Kazuba, Chandler James, RD Thompson, and Christian Dirksen. all in mostly the same position, minus Chandler James and Mark Kazuba, who swapped positions. Matt Mattisey got past Sergio Lindo into the turn. Sergio Lindo also looking to get past by Andrew Dwangbanglio. Dwangbanglio on the inside into the braking zone. He should be able to have it, and he does. Very nice job there by Andrew Dwangbanglio and Matt Mattisey to hold off Sergio Lindo, but Sergio Lindo's fighting it back. Oh, my word. That was very close. Very nice job by Sergio Lindo not to hit the driver ahead. He's gonna, oh no! Unfortunately, that's contact between Robichaux and Sergio Lindo. I could almost see that coming from a mile back. Sergio Lindo's gonna have to wait until almost all the drivers pass him now. There's a pass up front between Sam Stott and Mark Kazuba. I'm gonna quickly watch that here. While we watch this, I would like to say I'm honestly very impressed by our drivers for how clean lap 1 was and so on. I'm hoping that we stay that way as Chandler James goes off. I'm going to replay this now. There's a lot of happening. So Sam Stott went off through turn 6. And then Chandler James gets right behind him, hits the apex of turn 9. So Chandler James falls back.
Carrying a little too much speed.
Yeah. And so he loses his position to R.D. Thompson. And now under pressure from Christian Dirksen behind.
Well, oddly enough, most of our offs have been like oddly controlled. Pretty much everybody that's gone off, it's not like it's spinning into a wall or anything. They get control of the car. They get back on track without being a nuisance.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, right now we're watching a battle for P26. Neil Leader got passed by Paulo Reis and Chris Mack. Leader trying to fight it around the outside, but that's going to be really hard, and he might lose another spot to Peter Jacob. They're currently side by side, a little bit of wheel banging. Peter Jacob getting past him with a little bit of argy-bargy, so Neil Leader losing 3. He lost 3 positions there in 3 corners, and he's going to lose a 4th here to Is Asterisk. I wonder if Leader is having issues. It almost looks like he's in the wrong engine map setting. There's another yellow flag for Chris Reaper and Jeremy Yarin. Well, it's a J Yarin. They're both going straight. I'm going to replay this here. I think I've gone too far, but oh well. To Malia Kazuba, past Stott's turn, or in lap 3, I believe. When Stott went wide at turn 6.
Scott just took the fastest lap from Kazuba.
Oh, gee, oh my word. That was a massive dive there into the corkscrew. Thankfully, he lets the other driver by, but that is massive by Jeremy Yarin, who's fallen all the way down to P15 already. But yeah, Mark Kazuba with about a 1-second lead to Sam Stott, who's got a 3-second gap back to R.D. Thompson, who's going to be side by side with Chandler James into turn 5. No, Chandler James not side by side in turn 5. He gets through before the corner. And now Chandler James leading R.D. Thompson through, in my mind, what is the hardest corner on the track.
Oh, I knew that was coming.
Juicy Jake. Oh my word. Thankfully, they both spun on not in the middle of the track. I'm going to replay this here. So this is between Juicy Jake and Ian Demler. There's also a yellow flag for Matt Mattisey, if you would check on that for me.
Yep, where is he?
He's up in P14 right now. He's going straight again.
Same situation.
Okay. So yeah.
A little bit off on the right side of the corkscrew.
Oh yeah, so they tried going side by side through the turn, through turn 6. There's also a yellow flag for Van Winkle and Dickhouse and Juicy Jake again. If I can get out of the thing. Okay, so Van Winkle is trapped on the outside of turn 9.
He's gonna fall all the way down.
He spun, I think, on his own, and 2 drivers going off track to avoid him. Thankfully, he seems to not have been hit. I don't think. So he's going straight again, but he is now in last place with probably some very hot tires. Juicy Jake and Peter Jacob now fighting into turn 1. And Is Asterisk right behind.
I'm surprised that went as well as it did. That's good.
Rafcab getting past Neil leader now. Neil has to have something wrong. I don't want to say that something's wrong, but it kind of looks like it because he keeps losing positions. Unfortunately, I can't get a good view to see if he's got the wrong engine map on, but I think he's okay. Meanwhile, Artie Thompson backwards through the middle of the corkscrew. He's going to fall so far down. There's also a yellow flag for Sam Stott. Thompson spun on his own. I will quickly try and see what happened to Sam Stott. Oh, he spun on his own too. Through turn, I believe that's 7. No, that's turn 9. My apologies, turn 9. So Sam Stott loses the place to Christian Dirksen. And Artie Thompson is a ways down. Neil Leader is yellow flagged here. It looks like he got help being spun into corkscrew. I'm not sure who that is behind him. That's Music. Steven Music absolutely sent it. Yeah. Oh no.
Little bump and run.
That was more than a little, unfortunately.
Well, at that speed in that corner, it doesn't take a lot.
That is true. Andrew Wong Bungaleo got past Chris Reaper. Chris Mack got past Paulo Reese. There's a lot of chaos happening on this track. Most of our drivers are still in one chain. Peter Jacob and Paulo Reese still fading it out, but Peter Jacob got the better of him for right now. There might be a time when this cools down a little bit, but I don't know when that'll be, because between P22 and P34 is all one chain. You can see that here on the map. Yep. Ian Demler got past Brad Bertram up front, but I'm going to watch Peter Jacob here for a little bit longer. Paulo Reese doing a much better job through the corner than Jacob, but I don't think he'll be able to do anything here through this through this corner.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice chain of cars here.
Ooh, Paulo Reese. I thought for sure we were about to see a rear ending there of Paulo Reese and Peter Jacob. Oh my word. I don't even know what to say anymore. So
I feel like I've got eyes on another aggressive battle here.
Yeah, right in the middle of this train that we're watching the front of. There in the pit, we're watching, I believe that is Juicy Jake and Is Asterisk.
Yep.
So yeah. A little bit of contact there. Almost side by side into turn 1. It's who's bravest on the brakes. Is Asterisk being not brave, but smart is what I'll call that. He did not do anything dumb. So very nice job there by Is Asterisk, who I believe is a new racer, but I could be wrong. I don't remember his name. Or her name, I'm not sure which. So my apologies. Looking a little bit more back toward the front, Steven Sarver is right behind Don Draper, battling for P5. Don Draper not getting a good exit out of the corkscrew. They were side by side for a little bit going into turn 10, or turn 9, but not doing anything. So Don Draper now trying to hold it back to secure top 5 between Steven Sarver and Jeremy Yaron, or I believe that's Jason Yaron, my apologies. Jason Yaron. Also, Matt Mattisey has lost 3 positions. Did you happen to see what happened there?
I did not.
All right, so I'm going to assume it was something unfortunate, but I don't know what exactly it was. Does Matt Mattisey...
Was that not in his previous off at the corkscrew?
It might have been. I don't know. I got a notification that there were 3, that he lost 3 positions in the last like half lap or so. So I don't know. Sig SVG cheering on Sam Stott in the comments, specifically because he's picked him in Pick D's. And I will cheer that on every day of the week. For anyone who doesn't know, Pick D's is a kind of fantasy thing run by the wonderful Adam Santana, who is one of the guys who brought me over into SRA from my previous league. But basically you choose a driver as Don Draper goes super deep into the corkscrew. That will be a talking to the stewards. For now, yeah. I don't think the stewards will like him if that gets reported, though. Anyway.
Oh, we've got contact back here between Music and Bart. I don't... That's an asterisk?
Is Asterisk, I believe. There was also a yellow flag for somebody else, but I didn't see who that was. I didn't get to click on them soon enough. I didn't see who that was. But yeah, so anyway, pick D's is you pick one driver from each division and you get points depending on how they finish. And once you pick a driver once, you can't pick them again for the rest of the season. So it's a lot of fun. If you're in our Discord, and you should be in our Discord, I highly suggest checking it out. And also you get a ton of fun jokes out of it. So there you go. But anyhow.
So keep an eye on this long chain of cars that are all trying to pass each other constantly. We just had a little more contact there between Music and Burrell, looks like.
Yeah, they're side by side into turn 1 there in the pit, almost 4 wide by the looks of it. What position is that?
That's going to be an aggressive situation here shortly. Those guys have made contact a couple of times in this last lap.
Yeah, there's a lot of chaos here happening. Ben Borrell leading his train. Speaking of chaos, Raul Heron, no! I'm going to replay this here in the pip. So Raul Heron was going side by side with, I believe that was Chris Mack. Got on the power and just lost it on corner entry. That was all on his own. And that's really unfortunate, because I don't know if he was supposed to, but he started with a pit lane, and now he's got a whole bunch of damage on his front end.
Probably my fault for watching him too, you know.
Well, someone's got to do it.
Yep.
Meanwhile, down into turn 2, Steven Sarver not quite making a dive on Don Draper. He was really close, but decided not to do anything rash, which is very good. However, the longer that Don Draper and Steven Sarver fight, the more it's going to bring the Yarn brothers into this, because Jason is right behind them and Jeremy is closing up.
Fair just lost 2 positions. I don't know if there's something wrong with his car or what, but it kind of looked like he lifted and got out of the way there.
All right, I will quickly replay this here in the main screen. It definitely looks like he lifted, but I'm not quite sure. There's a lot of Ferrari drivers that are having weird issues right now. But yeah, so I'll let you keep an eye on that in the picture-in-picture. RAFCAP right now making a dive on Bruce Hopkins there for P30. Side by side through turn 4 still. And RAFCAP getting the move done for the moment. Is Bruce Hopkins going to be able to fight it back into turn 5? No. All right. So that fight will continue now between Ferrer and Hopkins, but we'll have to see where that all goes.
He just let somebody else by too. Maybe that must have been Hopkins. But I'm thinking it might just be that he's noticing, hey, look, this person may have more pace than me, and rather than fight him unnecessarily if it's definitely going to be, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, somebody's getting blue flag there. Is that what's going on here? What is happening here?
I'm not sure. Meanwhile, there's a yellow flag for Chris Mack as well as Joey Van Winkle. I will watch the Chris Mack thing. They're 3 wide. Oh, my word. Chris Mack, I don't think expecting... I'm not sure who that is that was on his outside, but unfortunately just understeered into him. Maybe not expecting him to be there, but yeah, so Chris Mack now falling all the way down to P34 with some damage. I'm not sure who he hits. That might have been Steven Music, but I'm not quite sure. Meanwhile, looking into the hairpin, oh my word, Don Draper going deep again. Okay, this time I don't know if it's intentional, but he's letting Steven Sarver through, and he gets spun. No. I'm going to replay this here, but Don Draper getting spun after going deep through the corkscrew again. Getting spun by one of the Yarn brothers into the corner. That's really unfortunate. Thankfully, he's still going straight, but the stewards will definitely have a word about that. There's another yellow flag between Chris Hemian, I believe this one is, and Robichaux. Unfortunately, that looks like a very straightforward hook, line, sinker dive bomb. At least that's what I would expect. Yeah, so now Cliff Hemian into the pits at 42 minutes to go, and that's really early, I think, in my opinion. Especially for a Porsche whose tires will not be having fun this race at all, especially on a 42-minute stint.
Scott's moved back to 4th.
All right. Yeah, Stott looking to maybe get past Dirksen there. Right now, I'm going to be watching Jeremy Yarn try and get past Don Draper. Hopefully, no funny business into the corkscrew. No funny business yet. But Don Draper right behind Jason Yarn. Jason going wide, very wide. Where's he going to come back on? He's going to let 2 people by. Maybe 3 people by, 3 people by. No, Chris Reaper. Okay, he's kept it straight. Please don't go into the pits. No, he's not going into the pits. Unfortunately, he's lost about 5 positions, almost hitting Andrew Dwong-Bunglio there into the corner. Also almost letting Matt Mattisy by. I'm going to see if I can replay what happened. Nope, I didn't go back far enough. So yeah, I think Reaper lost it on exit. I'm not sure if he had help there with the Yarn brother that was just behind him, or just ahead of him, sorry. But yeah, so I apologize for Quinny Poo. I know what your name is in SRA. I just don't know it right now, so my apologies.
Quinn Jetter.
Oh, that's Quinn Jetter. Okay, that makes sense. So my apologies to Quinn Jetter. Oh my word, Matt Mattisy, please don't rear-end him. He's already had enough pain. All right, there's
Mattisy has too.
Yeah, there's a yellow flag now for Ben Borrell, who I didn't click on fast enough. Unfortunately, he got helped by, I believe that was Rafcab there. So a dive there, whether accidental or not, by Rafcab, sending Ben Borrell back to P31. I believe he lost about 4 positions. Yeah, I believe that was Rafcab, and I don't want to say for certain, but I think that was a blue flag issue, as there's also a stop-go 30 for Raul Heron. But, yeah,
and these guys just made that corkscrew look really nice. I thought there was about to be some contact there, but they all pulled it together.
To say, if you see some fun action, please interrupt me. I want to go look at it. Meanwhile, Don Draper goes off again. I'm going to watch this between the Yarn #1 and Don Draper. Don Draper doing well to get through the first. Oh, he just loses it. And that's very easy. He got on the power probably a little bit too early, so Jeremy Yarn up into P5. He's 20 seconds back from P4, so... Also, Sam Stott got past Christian Dirksen. Was that the battle you were watching?
No, I was back here watching this Music, Robichard, Jacob situation.
Okay, so I apologize for missing it, Sam, but you did get past Christian Dirksen as John Ansem is backwards through turn 6, the exit of turn 6. I'm going to watch this here in the pip, or in the main screen, sorry. I'm not in the pip. Oh, he went wide, tried to stay on the gas. We didn't have to lose too many positions.
And that was so good avoidance, though.
Yeah, that was very nice avoidance there by, I believe that was Casarasi? Or Casarapi? Yeah. Meanwhile, Don Draper into the pits. And it looks like he almost stalled it going into pit lane. Yeah, pit lane here is a lot of fun. I'll have to see if I can catch someone doing the full entry as Peter Jacob and John Ansem go side by side through turn 10. No, come on, Jacob.
Oh, I was just going there too, yep.
Jacob getting on the gas too early, hitting Ansem. Please give him the place back. Come on. Don't be like that, man. All right. Well, what's happened has happened, unfortunately. Anywho. So, looking back out front, Jeremy Yarn trying to either retain or get back into that P1 position. Currently sitting P5, about 25 seconds back from Mark Kazuba. He definitely has a chance to get back there. But it's going to take the race of a lifetime, I think, for Jeremy to get back up there after an unfortunate quali performance and a chaotic start for everyone.
Ooh.
Yeah, I believe Dickhouse may have just gone off track. There's a yellow flag for Brad Bertram. He's going straight, so I assume it was just fun through turn 6.
Yeah, he had a bit of a... He caught it. It was a hell of a tank slapper.
To answer Quinn, Chris Reaper, I know that he spun. I believe he had help to get spun, but I don't remember specifically.
He'll come back.
Yeah. But Reaper currently sitting in P12, just to give you an update. He definitely has a chance to get back into the top 10, but we'll have to see where it all shakes out.
Okay, where's these?
Ooh, speaking of, a little bit of a tank slapper there through turn 3. Reaper may be looking to do a pit stop here soon. Currently, no one really right ahead of him or right behind him, so he's safe for the moment without much pressure. But if he falls too much further back, Brad Garman's really gonna put the hurt on him. Meanwhile, looking up ahead to Yarn number 2, Jason Yarn. I don't know actually which is number 1 or 2, but he's currently in second place in his team, so I'll call him Yarn number 2 for now. With a little bit of a wiggle, actually a big bit of a wiggle there through the exit of turn 9, but just behind Steven Sarver. Steven had been up at P5, if I remember correctly, for a little bit. Unfortunately, the Yarn brothers may be a bit too fast. So we'll have to see where Jason's able to force the issue, or if he doesn't want to force the issue. Meanwhile, Kasarabi into the pit lane there in P16. And also, just to give a heads up on the fastest overall lap, no shocker, Weezerson said that Sam Stott has pace, and he most definitely does. He has the fastest lap overall of a 123.2, which is super fast in full fuel. I don't know exactly when it happened that he got that fast lap, but that is definitely fast. And he's not that far behind Chandler James, so I think it's really all going to come down to how the pit stops shake out, because Mark Kazuba, oh no, Sam! I'm so sorry, Sam. Please blame that on me. Also, please go into the pits right now. This is the perfect time for you to go into the pits.
Yeah, agreed.
And he goes into the pits, so he's he's listening. But yeah, so this is the fun with the pit lane here. So it's a super tight left-hander into the pit lane. It's so tight that I have it on good authority that there are certain drivers who have crashed into the pit wall when trying to do their pit stop. In IndyCar a few years ago, this was actually probably a better part of a decade now at this point.
Jacob just ran off.
Oh.
I had a feeling his tires, he's getting into tank slappers. And I was watching him just, I knew something was going to happen.
Yeah, so good time for people to, good time for people to pit. I don't remember who it was, but in IndyCar, someone while trying to pit got on the gas while they were turning left into the pit lane and wrecked. Like, absolutely wrecked, as there's a yellow flag for somebody who went off track. I didn't see who that was.
Ansem went off and he hit the wall.
Not again. I'm sorry, Ansem. But yeah, so he crashed into pit lane. He was essentially perpendicular to the fast lane, blocking the entry. So for a couple laps, no one could pit while they tried to figure out how to un-Austin Powers him from his current position. As Chris Reaper has another yellow flag. No! Thankfully, he's continuing to move straight.
Time to pit, Chris.
Please.
Those tires on all the Porsches, they're all having the same issues.
Yeah. There's a lot of drivers having issues, and unfortunately, even if it'll get better for a little bit, everyone, like, even if they pit now, it's going to be bad.
Well, they made it to the halfway point almost, so, you know, they pit now, they might have some issues last 5 laps, but...
Yeah, it's true. Looking at Mick Weezerson's post here in the comments, he's watching D1 and D3. All of the D1 drivers pit by, except for like 6, I believe. Yeah, he says all but 6 drivers pitted by the 35-minute mark. Meanwhile, if I go down here, we have 26 drivers, I think, who have not pitted yet. So I don't know if everyone's just holding out for, like, hoping that their tires will be better at the end of the races. There's a yellow flag for number 84. I don't know who that is. Oh, no, that's R.D. Thompson, and that's massive damage on the front end. I'm gonna replay that here just to see what happened. We're gonna go
Again in a Porsche
passenger.
too.
Yeah, and R.D. Thompson hasn't pit. He definitely has to pit now, unfortunately. So he goes into the corner. Oh, massive tank
Oh
slapper.
wow, that was weird.
And what's weird is he looks fine. So what happens? Does he spin again? He spins again.
Yeah, he put too much gas in the dirt there.
Oh, yeah, so that'll be at least 20, 30 seconds of damage he has to repair. Meanwhile, up front, Chandler James pitting. So, yeah. That was our first of our leaders. Cesare Penkovic spun going through turn 9. He has to let a lot of drivers through, but he's back on track, going a little slow, letting another driver by. I believe that's Juicy Jake, but he should be coming into the pits now. I really hope. Yes, he is. All right, here's the overcam view, or the overhead view. So basically what that IndyCar driver did was, as they were trying to make this left-hand turn, they floored it while they were on that thing and missed and essentially spun, as I'm not sure who this is, missed their pit box, unfortunately, because it was right there on the entry, and that sucks. I think that was RD again, RD Thompson. No? Chris Reaper, no. Chris Reaper missed his pit box, and that'll be at least an extra 10 seconds to his pit stop time. We'll have to go back through and look at that. Meanwhile, Mark Kazuba also into the pits. Thankfully, he's having an easier time.
You know, at I just had a brain fart and just completely lost the 24-hour race early in January.
Yeah.
I know you know the one. We had a Porsche that slammed into the barricade at the pit entrance, or what was that? I guess that would be like pit exit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was on like the second lap. So Daytona, the 24 hours of Daytona. He came into like the first turn on like the second lap, and he slid out and slammed the barrier.
I think I remember seeing that. Also, for more fun, specifically here at Laguna Seca, there was I believe it was a 6-hour race for IMSA. And if I remember, I didn't watch it, but I know for a fact that there was some absolute murder that went on by, I believe, a Mustang. So, unfortunately,
well, that's fitting.
Yeah, this track is not immune to chaos, real life or otherwise. There's a lot of drivers pitting right now, so our standings are a little bit wonky.
Yeah, and who is out there is we're starting to get the long train going on.
Yeah.
We don't really have a whole lot of really close.
Yeah, we're over the halfway point, so I assume that everyone who hasn't pit is going to pit this lap, which is going to make for absolute chaos in the pit lane, trying to make sure that you don't miss your pit box, especially for the drivers who have it early on in the pit lane. Yeah, so I'm interested to see what happens here with our main thing, as Andrew Longbonglio loses it. Oh no, he loses it again, no! And he has to wait now for a few cars to please don't go in front of, oh my word.
Oh, that was risky.
Okay, so everyone's fine. Everyone's still going straight. Well, now anyways. But be better, please. Meanwhile, both the Yarn brothers coming into pit at the same time, so they are on the same strategy. Steven Sarver going for another lap, which I don't really recommend, but I guess that's what happens.
Well, if the further these guys push it, the better their tires are going to be at the end of this race. So
yes,
I can definitely see that.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense as to why they would want to go long, but I don't think they should, because, like, I don't know where the exact pit stop is that would make it good, so to speak, but you wear your tires less due to fuel load for the second stint.
Oh, that's true.
So,
yeah, I didn't think about that.
I'm not entirely sure where that would be.
But driving the Porsche on less fuel is much more difficult than on full fuel too.
So maybe they're wanting to hold out for those fresher tires.
I guess since we're at like a halfway point here, our biggest winners currently, now some people are in the pits, so these will change marginally, but
I was going to say, they're going to change a lot.
Garmin's up 30 positions. Bertram's up 24. Asterisk is up 26.
Yeah, there's a lot of drivers that have moved up a good bit thanks to pit stops right now. Meanwhile, our provisional leader, Steven Sarver, into the pits. The one thing I'm interested in is Sam Stott came out behind Christian Dirksen. And if I look at the statistics, I'm not entirely sure why, because they didn't have that much different of a pit stop time. It was only about 2-second difference. And Stott was ahead of Dirksen before the before the pit? Before the pit cycle, I thought.
He was in. I think he was in third. I don't know where Dirksen was though.
I don't know. So. Dirksen was in fourth after R.D. Thompson fell out of the top 5.
So then Scott was in third at that point. So he was ahead of him.
Yeah, but we now actually have a battle here for what will likely be a podium position. Christian Dirksen trying to hold off Sam Stott, and that will not be an easy challenge. Oh, Stott spun before pitting. That's right. Thank you, Sig. That makes sense.
Yep,
Also, Sig, you said you couldn't be here, but you're still commenting on the race. So are you just not?
He's not.
Are you
he's
not
at
working?
Work.
Well, then what is he doing?
Yeah, he's just.
I think he just doesn't like me. I think that's what's happening. He's trying to avoid me.
Oh, he did tell me that. I forgot about that.
Oh, was that what he sent you? Was that how he convinced you to join me?
Yeah. I can't do that 2 weeks in a row, brother.
Yeah.
Will you go take care of this for me?
Yeah. To Weezerson's comment, it's possible, but I don't think so. Sam Stott was stopped for 36 seconds, Christian Dirksen for 34 seconds. So it's possible that they repaired just a little bit of damage, as Dirksen and Stott have to both avoid a, I believe that's Brad Bertram there, who slowed down a lot, who's now coming into the pits, thankfully. But I'm clicking on the wrong person. But that was a very good avoidance there by both Christian Dirksen and Sam Stott. Our top 4 now are all people who have pitted. So this is your, for the moment, podium, as Pharaoh unfortunately has a yellow flag through the hairpin.
He has not pitted yet. Still.
Okay, so no, Pharaoh has pitted in P15.
Oh.
Or P18, I can't tell which anymore.
Oh, it doesn't. Oh, yeah, I see. Okay, yeah.
Now there is a Pharaoh and a Fairer, so I don't know if Pharaoh has pitted.
We only have 3 non-pits now. Somebody else just pitted, so we've only got 3 left, I think.
Sig, you can just say that you don't like me. I would understand it. I mean, you could also just hop in now since you're back. A 3-man booth is not the worst thing in the world. But yeah, right
you guys
now,
both have a lot of energy for this, so.
That we do. But yeah, so looking at our battles right now, Sam Stott fighting Christian Dirksen for that final podium position. Steven
Reaper and Dickhouse.
Yeah. They're in the pip. Good side-by-side action into turn 2. Settled before the exit, though. The other big battle right now, Steven Sarver holding back Jason Yaron there, and Matt Mattisey for P6 overall. Jeremy Yaron still trying to catch Sam Stott. Sig SVG might be joining us here in just a moment, so it's going to be a crowded booth here. But it'll be fun. Man. Hey, we have a Sig.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
All right, man. So now we have 3 sets of eyes who can look out for chaos. But yeah, so looking at, oh no, my word, that was a massive hit.
But RD, is that Ben or RD?
I think that was Ben Borrell.
That was a good catch. You were on that one.
Yeah, Don Draper had a yellow flag, came back. Oh, you can't even blame Ben for that. Unfortunately, there was just nothing he could do there.
That was just an incident.
Yeah.
Oh man,
massive damage for probably both drivers. But yeah,
stocks are
they're in the gutter, unfortunately.
Yeah. Also today I gotta kill you for putting Stott on screen and then he spins. Like.
Hey, like you said earlier, somebody's got to do it. This is the job. This is the whole point.
Exactly. I have to spin.
His car
someone.
is quite damaged.
Yeah, I have to spin someone. Unfortunately, that's kind of just how it rolls here. I
tried.
tried.
Why am I picking these driver? What's your pick these driver? Let's put the camera on him right now.
I honestly
what's
don't
your
remember.
pick these driver?
I think it might have been I don't know. I'll look it up just for you. I'm actually curious because I don't remember.
Reaper's having a recovery drive. He's coming up on Jacob now. He's trying to pick him off.
Ooh. Yeah, so Yaron on Sarver up into turn 2, not able to do anything there. Sam Stott got past Christian Dirksen. I'm going to replay that now just to see what happened here. So Christian Dirksen going a little bit slow, loses it a little bit on turn exit. Bump and run there a little bit maybe from Sam Stott. I'm not sure how much he could have done there without spinning himself other than slowing down. But yeah, so Sam Stott, maybe a little bit of a bump and run to get into P3. But he is there now, and he has the fastest lap still. But he's improved it now. His fastest lap is a 23.052, which is insane, personally.
Yeah, that is crazy.
That's what I'm talking about, Sam. So,
yeah. To answer your question as to who my pick D's driver is, it's Chandler James, who is right now just over a second away from Mark Kazuba for that win. So we're going to have some fun battles here to the end. Speaking of battles, Chris Reaper right behind Peter Jacob.
Everybody has pitted now.
All right, we'll go ahead and go over our biggest movers here in just a moment then. So, our biggest overall mover so far, Brad Garman up 21 positions from P32 to P11, so very nice job there. Steven Music up 17 positions to P19. Peter Jacob up 12 positions. Unfortunately, he's lost some of those due to incidents, but as he lets Mark Kazuba and Chandler James both by, a little sketchy there, but he lets them through. Casa Rabi up 12 positions to P10. Matt Mattisey up 9 positions to P9. Is there anyone that I've missed that's moved up a lot that you can see?
I think that's all of them.
All right, yeah. So, but our most important mover right now, Mark Kazuba.
it's Sam Stott.
Well, no, Sam Stott lost 2 positions. He lost 2 positions. Mark Kazuba is up 2 positions right now, but he's on the cusp of possibly losing it. Chandler James has been fast all day. He was faster than Mark Kazuba in qualifying, and their last 2 laps, or their last laps, Chris James much faster than Kazuba. I just hit my mic. I apologize to everyone who was listening to that, but Chris James' last lap was a 23.8 compared to a 24.4 for Mark Kazuba. So we'll have to see how this shakes out, but they are within half a second of each other right now. And Chandler James, I might have been saying Chris James. I'm sorry. Chandler James doing everything he can to put the pressure on that P1 sitter, and it might be working. Mark Kazuba going wide there, and that might be good enough for a an issue. But Quinn Jetter asking for an in-person lap. So we will go ahead and go on board with Chandler James as we watch this. Kyle, can you go watch the battle for P6 between Sarver and Yaron for me?
Yeah.
Or maybe stay on this one since they're going side by side. Sorry. Just as I asked you to cut away from it, it got interesting.
He got him.
He got him. My apologies for that.
Ladies and gentlemen.
But yeah, Chandler James now into turn 2. Mark Kazuba going
gonna
wide.
go wide.
I'm sorry, I have to get out of the in-person view because Chandler James has P1. P1 for the moment. Mark Kazuba going deep into turn 2 gives that lead away. Now they
Funnily enough, they're coming up to blue flag, both these guys that I was watching.
Yeah, I noticed that. But now I can go on board with Mark Kazuba for the rest of the lap, and we can get an in-person lap. Also, from WeaselTube, they're in the YouTube comments saying that Karasa might lead the Silver Championship if positions hold, and you're not wrong. I will have to look into see how that all plays out, but I'm not sure, because I know that P4 gives you a lot of points. Yeah, Peter Jacob, I think.
Nice. Reaper is running away from them. This is cool. I like
Yeah.
this.
Doing a very nice job there. Peter Jacob getting out of the way of Kazuba and Chandler James. Oh my word.
Come on, Kazuba.
McLaren brakes doing what McLaren brakes do, and just kind of maybe sort of working. But yeah, Kazuba's gonna have to try and find a really interesting way to get around Chandler James, unfortunately, because the Aston Martin that is ahead is very hard to get past in a straight line. Meanwhile, Yarn and Sarver side by side into the corkscrew. Maybe a slight bump there on the back by Sarver on Jason Yarn, but very nice job there to not wreck each other. They're still fighting it out, but right now Yarn brothers sitting P5, P6. Now, of course, that battle is not over, but it'll be interesting to see. Also, Christian Dirksen still right behind Sam Stott, who are currently going around Isasteric. Unfortunately, Christian Dirksen getting held up a little bit by Isasteric through turn 6, but not much he could do there other than maybe lifting off a little harder, but he didn't have to. So he won't get any kind of penalty for that. Yeah, that's dropped that gap down to about a 1 second gap. So we're gonna go back out front to Chandler James and Mark Kazuba, who are
there's the next on the outside. Touches up there.
Sergio Lindo was very close to spinning there. Also, Steven Sarver got past Jason Yarn. I'm gonna replay that here just to see what happened. He went wide in turn 6. So I was talking about how in the intro, how that's probably where most of our issues happen with our other drivers. And that was a blue flag overtaking, and unfortunately missed that braking zone into the corner, so he's given the position back. But Paulo Reese and Bruce Hopkins swap positions. There's also John Ansom overtaking Brad Bertram into turn 5. Very nice job there on the brakes. R.D. Thompson also getting past Joey Van Winkle here into turn 2. I apologize, I'm showing all of these right after they happen, but here we go. But we're gonna focus on this battle here up front as Mark Kazuba spins.
No, come on, man.
I just as I came back to them, I'm so sorry, but yeah, Mark Kazuba takes a little too much of the entry curve there, spins, hits the inside wall. He's still P2, but that gap has dropped from about a half second all the way to 6 seconds. So let's see how much damage there up front. It looks mostly okay, so maybe only about 3 to 5 seconds of damage on that front splitter, but that definitely won't help him as he tries to get back into that P1 position. Meanwhile, Christian Dirksen still fighting with Sam Stott. Still right behind him, might be just biding his time. We know that Sam Stott has had a few issues. Last week he gave up P1, unfortunately, through a Rouge. He gave up P1 again here in this race, going through turn 6. So it's very possible that he has more issues, but I have noticed that he stabilizes a lot better through the second half of the stint. Maybe just because he's more used to the car at that point again, but I don't know. Anyway, another battle for P8. Matt Mattisey and Kasarabi fighting for that P8 position. Matt Mattisey may be trying to look up the inside of Demler, but not able to do anything.
What a final 10 minutes.
Whoa, what's happening? What's happening?
Whoa.
Ian Demler just stopped on track.
I think that's a wheel disconnect.
That has to be, because or some of
Did
their
he run out of fuel or something?
I don't think so, because if he runs out of fuel, he would have RTG'd. But no, I believe that might be a wheel disconnect from Ian Demler. He's fallen all the way down from P8 all the way down to P15, and you just feel for the guy. He was doing so good up there defending. Ugh. All right, we'll come back to him once we figure out what happened to him. Thankfully, he's not in the middle of the track somewhere, but you know, stopping on the exit of a corner is still not good, as Darren Robichaux had a yellow flag. I'm not sure what for, so I'm going to quickly replay this here in the main screen. I have...
What?
Okay.
Oh, he went to... I think he just went to
He went to
Willow
Ping-
Springs Raceway instead.
Yeah, he went to Ping Heaven, I believe is what that's called.
I don't imagine. I feel like it's more like Ping Hell.
That might be true. Meanwhile, Raul Heron has spun exiting turn 9. I've done that so many times in the McLaren, so I won't bother replaying that because I don't think he needs that. Well, back out front with Christian Dirksen and Sam Stott, trying to get around Dickhouse for blue flags. No big issue getting around him, but he will lose some time. I'm interested to see if Dirksen can bring back this speed that he had earlier, because he did a good job of defending from Sam Stott up until an issue, I believe it was through the last corner, that allowed him to get past into turn 1. But yeah. Last lap, Sam Stott 7/10 a lap faster than Christian Dirksen, though, so it's going to be a fight for Dirksen to try and get onto the podium.
Dirksen's got a lot of speed, but I think Stott has the he has the Bentley. Dirksen's in the McLaren. I feel like a curb's gonna catch the McLaren slipping in these final 10 minutes.
It would not shock me. The McLaren is really good around here as long as you're able to keep it going straight. And unfortunately, that can be an issue sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
So, looking at the standings right now, as they stand. So, in gold, if the standings finish as they are now, Chandler James would move up into P1. Jeremy Yarn, I believe, would fall down into P3, and Mark Kazuba take P2, but I could be wrong in that, so don't take that as, hard and fast word. For the Silver Championship, Christian Dirksen would get a lot of points, but I don't think it would be enough to overtake Cass Arabi. It'd be really close, but I'm not sure. Meanwhile, Dirksen looking to the inside of Sam Stott here into the corner.
Stott's gonna go wide. No, I think he tried to.
Oh,
I think he's
no!
gonna have a.
Oh, there's contact.
What?
Dirksen and Stott coming together.
I'm retiring from pick these, bro. So
I was
gonna say
we're gonna watch this here. So Sam Stott going deep. Christian Dirksen trying to make the undercut maneuver. I'm not sure how the stewards will look at that, to be honest. I would assume that they'd fault Christian Dirksen, unfortunately, for that move, but I honestly don't know. So now Sam Stott falling back into P4, and it's a 10-second gap to Christian Dirksen ahead. I think he'll have a pretty good shot of catching back up to Dirksen, but I don't think it'll be enough to overtake him. It might be enough for penalties to overtake him, as Thomas Greer. Ooh, my word.
Okay.
Was that right in front of the leader?
No, I think that's Sean Paul. I think that's
No,
Sean
that was
Paul.
right. That was right in front of Chandler James.
Oh, that was Chandler James. Speaking of Sean Paul, what is he?
I don't think he's here. Yeah, he's.
Oh, he's not. He's on vacation.
Yeah, he's on vacation.
Okay.
From Demler, his game crashed.
Oh man, that almost got taken out. That was so lucky.
Oh no! RD, no. So I'm gonna replay this. Neil Leader spun coming out, almost took out our P4 sitter, and then in trying to get spun back around, I think, he needed to hold the brakes just a little bit longer. Unfortunately, RD Thompson spun and hit the inside wall. I think he may have given up a position to Dario Ferrer, but I'm not quite sure. Ugh. All right. Continuing forward. Yeah, people gotta learn. You gotta hold the brakes.
Oh, I don't know who that was. Somebody just went off at the corkscrew.
That was...
I was in bonnet cam.
I believe that was Thomas Greer, but I could be wrong.
There's another green car.
It was not Sergio Lindo because he's not green. So I'm not sure who that is. Meanwhile, Ansem trying to go around the outside of Thomas Greer, not able to do it, but he is performing the switchback maneuver. He's trying to take that rabbit season off to a new level. Oh my word! Please don't hit him.
Okay, that's
Greer,
no, that's
look out.
collision.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
The Greer Bradley is invincible.
Chris Reaper
Yeah,
also
it seems
off.
to be actually. Yeah, I was in the wing cam, saw
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah, so Ansem not expecting the car ahead to brake as early as he did, maybe just not expecting it. Thankfully missed him for the most part, didn't hit him going into the corner. Both he and Thomas Greer kept it going straight, but unfortunately Ansem has now lost about 6 positions in waiting for other drivers to get past. So now looking to other battles. Juicy Jake following right behind Brad Garman. We have his onboard view on the bonnet. I believe that's the bonnet cam or hood cam. There in the picture there's a yellow flag for car number 20 and is asterisk. That's Brad Bertram, Paulo Reese, and is asterisk. I'm not sure what happened here. It looks like it was almost 3 separate incidents. Okay, so
Oh my goodness.
I think is asterisk and Brad Bertram had a coming together, unfortunately, through turn 6. I'm not sure what exactly happened, but I think Brad Bertram is the one who got spun. There's also a yellow flag for Andrew Wong-Bonglio, who is backwards through the exit of turn 4. Oh, and he just hits that inside curb and goes spinning. Thankfully, he's only lost 2 places, so he's down from P14 to P16 to Robichaux and Music, but still
We
unfortunate
had
there.
an off here. Garmin just barely avoided it.
Yeah, and that's... oh, there's another yellow flag for Farrow and somebody else, and I'm not sure who that is. So Farrow might have spun on his own. Oh no,
Yeah,
Paulo
he did.
Reese.
Oh,
Paulo
my
Reese
goodness.
trying to get out of the way. Unfortunately, it was right into the racing line of Mike Farrow, and he's lost now 2 positions to Robichaux and Music. So I guess he and Wong-Bonglio are now company, but that's 2 positions lost for Farrow for something that wasn't his fault, unfortunately.
Hey, when did Dirksen overtake Scott?
Some time ago,
That was
5
when,
laps ago.
that was when Dirksen hit Stott on the exit of turn 2 into turn 3.
yeah, 2 laps ago.
Now, Stott is catching up by a lot. He's about a half second to a second a lap faster than Dirksen. And the gap is now down to 7 seconds from what it was at 10, but I don't think it's enough for him to get the position back. It will be enough to get the position back if there's a big enough penalty for Dirksen, but I'm not going to argue that. But yeah, from Weasel's Tube, it's really unfortunate for RD Thompson as Andrew Wong-Bonglio is backwards again. I'm not going to replay that one, but yeah, RD Thompson currently sitting in P28. He was all the way up in P3.
Yeah, he's fast too.
He's super fast. At least from what I remember, most of the incidents that he's been haven't been his fault. As there's another yellow flag for Chris Reaper, he's backwards and his front bumper is falling off, unfortunately, through the exit of turn 4. Please get out of the way of Steven Sarver. All right, we're good. Well, the rest of the racers are. I don't think his front end is, unfortunately. Chris Reaper's not had a good day.
Oh, man.
But yeah,
Bring it home, Reaper.
that's all you can
gotta
do.
worry about that.
Yep.
See, that's what I get for talking him up in the pre-race.
I mean, he was looking fast. He was top 4
He
in
was.
qualifying, and just unfortunately, this track is known for chaos, especially compared to the other 2 tracks that we've been to. So, not unexpected. Meanwhile, Steven Sarver and Jason Yarin fighting it out for P6. Jason Yarin's been behind Sarver ever since his off through turn 6.
Oh, we just had another off up here. Who is that?
That is Chris Reaper again, probably just trying to get out of the way for other drivers at this point, unfortunately, because I highly doubt he has any front downforce at all, or front grip. So trying to make some of these corners would be hard.
Yeah, especially in a car with most of the weight on the rear.
Garmin just used a speed token.
Yes.
Pretty heavy.
Well, hopefully it works out for him. But yeah, that's the battle for P10. We're going to go on board with Jason Yarn here as he chases down Steven Sarver for P6. It's really interesting here. We have the battle of the old Ferrari and the new Ferrari. Jason, the guy we're on board with in the 488, while Steven is in the 296.
I'm guessing in the chat, this is the person whose car locked up on the circuit and just sat there.
Yeah.
He says that his game basically crashed completely. He couldn't even Alt F4.
Yeah. I will say I'm very happy that we did not have the Laguna Seca bug.
What is the Laguna Seca bug?
So
I guess they figured it out.
Yeah, so basically when you go between the qualifying and the race sessions, there are sometimes essentially a whole bunch of people get kicked from the server, and when they rejoin, they don't keep their qualifying spot. So you could qualify P1 and get kicked out of the server and like start P40. Thankfully, it did not happen today, and I don't. Ooh, a little bit of fun there. And it can't happen now because obviously we're not at the start of the race. We are at the end of the race with 10 seconds to go. Chandler James getting ready to start the final lap. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and follow Chandler James here as he does his final lap. And actually, no, I'm not going to. Oh no, he finished the race. So yeah, that was the last lap, just in the nick of time. So I couldn't watch him spin, thankfully. So Chandler James P1 to take P1 in the championship. Mark Kazuba P2. Unfortunate off into the final corner, or in the second corner to give it P2. Christian Dirksen to come across with a controversial P3 is what I'll call that. Sam Stott finishing P4. Jeremy Yarn P5. Not the title defense that he's wanting to try and put up if he wants to win so far, but you'll always take a P5. Steven Sarver will come across in P6. Jason Yarn P7. Matt Mattisey P8. Kasarabi P9, I think. All of the drivers are now getting conjumbled because everyone's going back to the pits. So, but yeah. So I will have the final finishing order for you here in just a moment. But there's a lot of drivers finishing and then going back to the pits. So we will get you the final finishing order here in just a moment. Meanwhile, there's a battle here at the back. If I can find it. I don't know who the drivers are. Who is number 664? Oh, that's Thomas Greer. He's already finished his race, so not a battle. But anywho, congratulations to Chandler James, who completed a victory lap and a victory crash, I guess is what you can call it. So, but there you have it. So, Chris Reaper, I think, was the last driver who's supposed to come across the line. But since he's in the pits, we will unfortunately have to go into the waiting period and wait to see what our final finishing order is. But we know our top three. And there we go. We have our final order. So Chandler James, Mark Kazuba, and Christian Dirksen are your podium positions.
And
Welcome back, dear viewers, to
I clicked the wrong button. I almost went and did the intro again. So anyway, we're back. I'm going to throw this into the chat, and we will wait to see who decides to come up and do the interview with us. But Kyle, I know that I unfortunately didn't let you talk much through this race. I was a busybody with my talking, but how did that race go for you? And what do you think?
That was fun. There was more excitement that I wanted, but not that I didn't expect. And it's exciting. I'm in here learning and trying to take everything in, so it's no problem, man. I'm not. Not hurt by your yapping.
Yeah, I try to give as many people the spotlight as I can. And then Sig, I know that you weren't in the booth for the whole time, but I know you have some words for the cameraman.
Listen, Trey. If you curse my Pick These driver again, I'm liquidating you, bro.
You're liquidating me?
Do what you want with the interpretation of that information. All right.
Am I able to guess as to what that means on stream? Is that allowed, or is that going to get us demonetized?
We'll leave that. We'll leave that for off-stream speculation. All right.
All right. So
Hack your computer and delete your files.
Oh God, I hope not. Anywho, I would love to do some interviews, but unfortunately, most of our drivers aren't here yet. The only one that I see right now is our P1 finisher. So
yeah, we're gonna have to.
That'll have to do.
Let's give it
No,
a
there's
bit.
our P3. I'm pulling him in. He doesn't get a chance to.
Yeah,
say
he
hi to
doesn't have
everyone.
a chance at all.
Christian Dirksen, welcome to the booth. I'm sorry I pulled you in so quickly, but can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. So, congratulations on your P3 finish. Unfortunately, a little bit of a controversial P3 due to the incident with Sam Stott. But go ahead and talk us through your race and how it all went.
Yeah, first of all, I'm very sorry to him. It was a little misjudgment on my part. I want to go back and look at the replay yet, but I'm pretty sure it's my fault. So, yeah, I feel bad about that. But other than that, I think I had a very good race. I did not have a lot of time to practice, so I didn't expect to do well, but I did know qualifying was going to be extremely important. So luckily, somehow I pulled that time out, and yeah, I just focused on trying to have a clean race and just unfortunately kind of ruined the whole thing at the end there.
Yeah. Well, the good news is that even if you don't get to keep your podium, you will still be the silver winner this race, I believe, because you would have to get like a 30-second penalty, and I don't think we can do that here. So either way, it was a good race overall. Yeah, I know you had a lot of fun, or at least I hope you had a lot of fun battling with Sam before the incident. But yeah, Sig or sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, it was super fun racing with him. It was super clean. We were going back and forth, and first him making a mistake, and then me. It was super respectful. Yeah, I had a lot of fun today. Just sad I kind of bumped him out of the way there.
Yep, it is what it is. Sig or Kyle, do either of you have a question here for our silver winner?
Yes. Do you think you'll be quick next week on Wet Monza, of all places?
I do not think so. No. I've not done much of driving in the wet in this game, so I don't expect to do well there.
Yeah.
Just break a little earlier.
Yeah, it might be the what's it called? The race that doesn't count?
The drop race. Yeah.
The drop
race.
Yeah, the drop race.
just don't be the one who goes bowling, and you'll be all right.
Yeah.
Let's hope so.
Yeah.
Give it a try.
Yeah. So obviously, great race overall. Is there anyone that you would like to give a shout out to, whether it be a teammate or something like that?
Yeah, I haven't really spoken to my teammate or anything, but I guess my wife for giving me permission to drive.
There you go. And then last question I'll have for you. This finish, it doesn't put you into P1 for the Silver Championship, but it gets you closer to the top. Do you think you have a chance at the Silver Championship this year? Or or maybe, do you hope that you don't get moved from silver to gold so you have a chance for the championship?
Well, I don't know how they judge their moving of divisions, but I think this was the only good race I've had so far, so I would be surprised if they move me up. But yes, looking at the standings and the drivers and the pace that I think I have a shot, yes.
All right. Well, hopefully you get to have a good lot of fun. I will go ahead and send you back down to your race review, but good luck next week in your practice for a wet Monza, and we hope to see you up again here soon.
Thank you very much, guys. Good night.
All right, take care.
Take it easy, man.
All right, so that was our P3 finisher. I don't see Kazuba, so if one of you would please ping him to see if he wants to come in here. I think he might have to go to bed, unfortunately, or he might be. But I will instead go ahead and pull out our winner, Chandler James. Chandler James, welcome to the booth. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can. What's up?
Yeah, so congratulations on your P1 finish. You had a lot of fun battling there at the end with Kazuba, and then Kazuba...
Yeah, that traffic was crazy.
Yeah, and then unfortunately Kazuba fell back there at the end. I didn't exactly see how that happened, but go ahead and talk us through your race and how it all went.
Honestly, I did not expect to get a podium after the rough start. But I felt like everyone was having a tough day on the track. It's a little. I like the track, but it's a little tricky. And then I was able to get a good pit in and come out right behind Mark, and then we just battled through the traffic. And I think that's kind of what was allowed me to get really close to him. And then I think so. I think he like went wide, and I overtook him, and then I think he crashed out on the corkscrew and just slid out.
Yeah, it was somewhat like that. We watched your overtake there into the corner. With that move, you have secured P1 in the championship so far. You've had back-to-back wins now at Spa and then here at wherever you are, Laguna Seca. So obviously you're feeling good. How are you feeling for next week at Wet Monza?
Ooh, Monza, I mean, when you first play ACC, only tracks are Spa and Monza.
That is very true.
I hope to God it's not like a online Monza.
Yeah, well, we will have to see. Sig or Kyle, do you have any questions? I'm sorry, go ahead. You can go ahead.
I was going to say, I think everyone did pretty well today. Not too many accidents from what I saw, but I feel like at Corkscrew, there could have been a lot more. It could have been a lot worse, so we'll see about it.
I've been genuinely impressed with how D3 has done through lap 1. Lap 2 and onward, maybe not as much, but it's been very nice to see, especially comparing to D2's race at a Spa last week. You guys are maybe not quite angels, but pretty close.
Yeah, I think we're doing pretty good on lap 1, so I'll give credit to D3 where it's due.
All right. And then Kyle or Sig, do either of you have questions for our winner overall?
Yes, congrats on the win, first of all, and second, Wet Monza. How are you feeling?
I just asked that.
Wet Monza. I didn't even know it was gonna be wet. Well.
Yeah, like, you answered the question. I was like, does he know it's wet? Like,
no, I actually didn't know it was wet.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, rain, bro.
Well, I think just the goal for everybody is probably just to survive, and then the race will be fine. You'll end up somewhere. Other people will crash, but I mean, I'll just go at my own pace.
The amount of off tracks in the chicanes is going to be unbelievable.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yes. 3 wide into the first chicane. I can't wait.
Knowing SRA, we're going to be 5 and 6 wide at least in the practice races, so it would not shock me.
Chandler, please make it 3 wide in the chicane, bro.
Please don't.
Well, with the slow starts I keep getting, I feel like everyone just gets a good run on me, so it might be 3 wide. We'll see.
I'll have to talk to you about how to do that, how to get better starts later.
I'm just very slow at the Aston Martin right now. I don't know why.
Yeah,
but
well, we can go over that later, but right now, last question. Is there anyone that you would like to give a shout out to?
Honestly, shout out everybody at SRA for putting these races on. Wouldn't be able to do all this stuff without them, so appreciate it.
Well, thank you for putting on the show for us to stream to the audience. But yeah, it's been super fun having you here in the booth, but we will go ahead and send you back down to your race review.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
You too. Have a good night.
Take it easy, man.
All right, take care.
All right, so that was Chandler James. 2 wins in a row. If he doesn't get moved to D2, which I don't think he will at this point, because it's not like he's had commanding leads, but if he doesn't get moved into D2, I think he's probably our championship favorite at this point. But we're not going to worry about that right now. Right now, we're going to look ahead. We just finished up round 3 at Laguna Seca, and as you've heard, we're going to be having Wet Monza next week, so make sure to come back for that. I believe it'll be me and Kyle, and maybe we can drag Sig back into the booth again. We'll have to wait and see. So
maybe work will update the schedule.
We can hope. But yeah, so make sure to come back and watch all that chaos next week. Hopefully not too much chaos, but unfortunately that's kind of how racing goes. Tomorrow you can watch Sig, SVG, and myself race here at Laguna Seca in D2. That is on Twitch or on YouTube, or you can go and watch D4 on YouTube, and that'll be a lot of fun. And if you just want another race that you have to watch right now, D1, I believe they're just now finishing up, or maybe I believe they just finished, so you can go and watch that stream as well. Watch that in the playback. But yeah. So, any closing comments from you two?
I don't think so.
Next week. Must
I should be asking you individually. Kyle, is there anything that you would like to think of for next week, or any closing comments?
No, not for next week. But if there's anybody watching that's in a race tomorrow night, there's a bunch of speculation in a group chat that I'm in that maybe they should, on the Porsches, they should try opening the brake ducts further to try and cool the tires longer. I'm seeing that Chris Reapers were like melted.
If your brake duct,
after,
if your brake ducts aren't open to 6 at this track, especially with how hot it is, you're not doing it right. That's kind
of what I was thinking.
But yeah, and then Sig, any thoughts on the race tonight or our race tomorrow?
Well, I couldn't catch all of it, but it was fun. Be tuned to see some heroics in D2 tomorrow. I have a quali band, and I'm not gonna send it, but I'm gonna.
You don't want to get a pit lane start right after you got a quali ban. I just want to point that out. That's not.
Let me start all over. Let me start all over. Look, I'm gonna put up a banger drive thrust. That's basically what I'm gonna say.
With lots of banging, is that what I'm hearing? Or is there?
Anyways, outside of that, yes, be here next week, because only one word for Wet Monza next week. Must see TV. Wait, that's 3 words.
Yeah, that is 3
Must.
words. just must. I mean,
yes, must.
I don't think we're gonna be wet that long. I don't think we're gonna get musty. But anywho, we'll cover that next week. But anywho, this has been a lot of fun here in Division 3. I'm Trey Morgan. I've been joined by Kyle Boys and Sig SVG. It's been a lot of fun, but we're gonna go ahead and send it off to the end. I hope you all have a good night, and we'll talk to you all later.
Yes, good night.
Yeah, guys, have a good one.
Liquidate Trey.
Oh my god.
Goodbye.
When I was just a new driver, I asked Coach Jeffries, what will I be? Will I be speedy? Will I crash out? Here's what he said.